Hey everybody, I just wanted to stop in real quick and let you guys know about our school community that is free right now until August 1st only. After August 1st, it will be $44 a month, so get in while you can. There's a lot of value in there. As you can see on the video playing in front of you right now, we have 4 courses currently and 13 members, so get in there while you can.
As we start to see more and more crazy events happening across the world, but especially in the United States, I think it is so important, and this is a lesson I've had to learn myself, especially this last week, to not be so focused on a negative outcome. Like this whole end of the world thing, right? Like we've all got it in our mind, especially when we see an assassination attempt, we see a global, you know what I mean? Like the whole CrowdStrike thing, right? Where all the servers went down, banks went down, airports went down because of this coding error. Like we see all this stuff that's happening. Biden dropped out. This isn't a political discussion, but the point being, we see all this crazy shit going on, and the first thing that comes to our mind, especially when we watch these TikTok videos, these creators, is fearmonger, right? We start to operate from a place of fear, right? What's gonna happen? Is my family gonna die? How am I gonna prepare? And then you start getting to the point where it's like nothing matters, and you just start ruminating on all the negative possibilities that could happen. And it's such a negative space to be. I mean, coming from someone who when I hear this kind of news and I get sucked into it so easily, I ruminate on it. And I start to become a pessimist, and I start losing track of my goals, that this should take place first no matter what, right? Because either way, if the world's going to end or not, that's not here yet right now. You're only causing more suffering to yourself. Who knows what's going to happen? But ultimately, why would you suffer beforehand? Even especially when it's months and years, possibly decades in front of us. There's no point to causing suffering to ourselves. We need to view life from a place of, okay, what can I do right now to live my best life? Because as we know, and as I've taught all of you guys on this channel, is living in the present moment is so crucial to living a fulfilling and happy and peaceful life that's not full of suffering. The second you stop living in the present moment is when you suffer. I've dealt with that this past week. This past week, I've felt heavy-hearted. I mean, seeing all this news and I just don't know what it is. It's like I'm living up to a moment that I'm dying or something, and it's the weirdest feeling, and I know what's causing it. It's me ruminating on the end of the world stuff. It's me living from a place of pessimism and, oh, my goals aren't going to work out because I'm not even going to live past this age because the government's going this way and this and this and this and this. And you end up just laying in bed all day thinking about the dumbest shit that has nothing to do with your current life. I mean, the second you get into the present moment and you start to become aware of your surroundings and what's really going on in your life, and having a full sense of gratitude and gratefulness for what's in your life at this present moment right now, is the only time that you'll find peace. Stop suffering. I saw a quote actually the other day, was suffering can become a religion, or suffering can become religious. And now think about this. What is involved in religion or religious practices, right? Practices, it's, you know what I mean? It's ritualistic. It's sort of a lifestyle. Suffering can become that. If you've been depressed, if you are depressed, if you've been through a lot of mental challenges and spiritual challenges, you know that this rings true, right? This is absolutely and utterly the truth. We start to ritualize our suffering. We start to enjoy it in the weirdest, most sickening way possible. It's the weirdest thing ever, right? It's like we listen to sad music to further sadden ourselves. We watch scary news to further scare ourselves. We sit in bed all day to further depress ourselves. We don't chase our goals. We just get caught in this spiral, this tornado of misery and gloom and doom, and we get sucked into an abyss. I mean, I know I talk about it so much, the abyss, but it's like, it seems like most of the world is in it today, and these past few years, I've done so good. I've crawled out of my abyss. I've been living the best life possible. I've been happy, and I've gone through experiences, and I've accomplished more than I've ever accomplished in my life, right? Through my perspective. But all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it's like the whole world, me included, is like getting sucked back down into it. It's the weirdest thing because it never happens. It never happens. It's like out of the blue. It's like, what is the vibrational frequency on? It gets you thinking. It's like, what if this is all on purpose? But anyway, I mean, the point being, I don't want to, skew off of the point. The whole point of this was you take control. Live in the moment. Stop causing yourself suffering. Stop ruminating on the fact that the world might end or it might do this and this. Honestly, who cares? If that moment comes, then it comes and we die. It's like, whatever, right? Whatever. But the only thing that exists is right now. Right now. Tomorrow doesn't exist. The day after doesn't exist. Yesterday doesn't even exist. Right now. And I've been so good about this up until recently, and I need to get back into it. This message is really for myself, ultimately. So I can watch this back and like truly grasp the concept of live right now. Take in your environment. Everything around me. Well, a good practice that I love to practice, and I forgot what I call it. I'd have to think about it. Observations. That's what I call it. It's a stupid name. I call it observations. The observations meditation technique. It's not really meditation, but it's a practice to get you back in the present moment, right? It's focusing on all 5 of your senses. Your touch, which would be your feel, your taste, your smell, your eyesight, and your hearing. Right? Focus. What are pick out 3 things for each of those categories right now in this moment. What are 3 things that you see around me? Do this with me. I'm not going to say it out loud because I'm going to give you the space to do it as well at the same time, but what are 3 things in your environment that you can see, that you can observe visually? Be aware of them. What color are they? What texture do they have? How far away from you are they? Okay. Now what are things you can smell? Do you smell the drywall? Were you outside? Do you smell the flowers? Do you smell the sprinklers that were just on this morning if you're outside in your garage? Like wherever you are. What are 3 things that you can smell? What do those smells remind you of? I mean, think deep about it. Just smell the smells. I've been sick, so I can't really smell, but you get the point. Right? What are 3 things you can feel? Is there an itch on your back? Right? Are you cramping up? Are you sweaty in between the legs? Is there an itch on your head? Do you feel a hair stringing across your forehead that's bothering you? Do you feel the wind caressing your skin? Sounds. What do you hear? Do you hear birds in the background? Do you hear your roommate upstairs making dinner, breakfast, whatever? Do you hear water dripping out of the faucet that you left on this morning? You know what I mean? Taste. What are things you taste? Do you taste the gunk from your retainer? the spit from your retainers from last night? Do you taste it? Do you taste the food that you just ate, or the gum that's in your mouth? What are things you taste? Once you can observe all of these, understand what that just did. First of all, it took you away from your thoughts. You didn't have room to think. You were so focused on what's actually physically in front of you in this present moment that, first of all, you forgot about what you were thinking of. Second of all, it did directly, funnel your attention into the present moment. And third of all, it gave you a newfound appreciation for the things around you, because maybe you found something that you were grateful for having that you forgot about. This is such a simple practice, but it helps so much. So if you catch yourself watching the news, being depressed, being scared, being in a rut, sitting in your bed all day, scrolling on TikTok like you cannot get off of the app, scrolling on YouTube, watching video after video after video, mental masturbation is what we call it, right? Take a moment. Do this technique. Do the observations technique. Observe. And be appreciative of everything that's around you in this moment, because that's the only thing that will ever exist. Now, let's raise the frequency of the world by doing this, honestly. Like, once we all get into a more positive vibrational state, and we all uplift each other and live the best lives possible and live in the present moment, the chances of an end of the world situation are a lot lower anyway. So we might as well do things the right way, in the most positive way possible. Hope you guys got something out of this video. Maybe just an awakening call. It's time to stop ruminating. I love you guys. If you got something out of this video, hit the like button. Comment down below. Whatever you want to comment. I just love talking to you guys. I love you guys. And I will see you in the next video of VEXED Family.
Don't you wish you could go back to when you hadn't lost anything? Everything's in the future. More shit to happen, that's all.